I absolutely detest it because of all the toddlers, and you know how I feel about toddlers, right? Yeah, every toddler needed to take the snake oil. Yeah, and a lot of them are still with us, unfortunately. And if this world didn't have any toddlers, then the alien wouldn't have any power. So you see where I'm getting at here? Toddlers are the enemy, along with the alien. But they can't survive without each other, see? Let me just diverge here for a second. I'm sorry, this video is going to be longer than 10 minutes, right? I don't think I've ever explained what a toddler is. And a toddler is characterized by 3 traits. 3 characteristics. And this video is about toddlers and aliens. And this video was originally designed for YouTube. And everybody should know that YouTube is owned by the aliens. And the aliens are watching every move, every word, because the alien is paranoid. Alien has a guilty conscience and always thinks that they're going to be persecuted because maybe they feel they should be persecuted for their crimes. So let me explain what a toddler is, and you might be a toddler. And I'm sure if you're not, or you're partially a toddler, or you're a crypto toddler, or most likely you're a toddler in denial, or a toddler who's unaware that you're a toddler. Aside from that, I'm sure that everybody here knows a toddler. In fact, they know tons of toddlers. Toddlers are everywhere. We can't avoid toddlers. Toddlers populate the world. And it's a very important topic to know both the toddlers and to know the aliens, and to determine if you are a toddler. If you are a toddler, you are the enemy of humanity. You're working for the aliens, and you may not even know it. In most cases, you don't know it. So the first trait of the toddler is ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is lack of education. And I don't mean formal education. Perception is more what I mean. They lack perception. You could be highly educated formally. You could be a PhD, while you totally lack perception. You don't know what's going on around you. You're basically like a programmed robot. Are you educated? Yes, you are. But you're ignorant. So that all boils down to lack of awareness, lack of comprehension, lack of consciousness, which might come from lack of interest, lack of curiosity, lack of an inner voice. And that leads us into the second trait, which is second trait of a toddler is lack of intelligence or sufficient amount of intelligence. Because if you don't have enough intelligence, you're not going to have the curiosity, and you're not going to have the high perception that you need. And you're also not going to be able to process the information or even recognize it if it comes your way. So the second trait is lower, insufficient intelligence. So now we come to the third trait, which defines a toddler. And the third trait is personality. A toddler lacks personality, or a specific type of personality. Or let's put it this way. Most toddlers are type B bunnies, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a toddler if you're type B beta male bunny. But it does mean that you're going to be much more highly susceptible if you have a certain personality type. I deal with psychology, so this is why I bring up these topics. Nobody would even detect these concepts or these topics like the one I'm speaking on today. But I pick up on it because it jumps right out at me and it intrigues me psychologically. My background is psychology, so it naturally intrigues me, and I ask the question, why? Why what? Why do people behave in the way they do? There's a reason. But sometimes it's very hard to detect or extract. But there's a specific reason. So anyway, so three things that make a toddler. One of them is lack of knowledge. Number two, lack of sufficient amount of intelligence. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that a toddler has to be retarded in terms of intelligence, but even if they have an average intelligence, they are at a risk of being a toddler. Okay? Try to understand this. So, a toddler, what makes a toddler? Number one, lack of knowledge, which is information, awareness, consciousness of the world around them. And number two is lower intelligence. And number three, which is a specific personality type that contributes to one being a toddler. Genetically, innately. Now, these things don't necessarily all lead up to someone being a toddler, but in a lot of times they contribute to one becoming and being and staying a toddler. So therefore, there's three factors that make up a toddler, three characteristics, but I just want to make it clear that if you have one out of the three, you're at risk. If you have two out of the three, you're even more at risk. If you have three out of the three, you've got no chance. You're a toddler for life, and you are the enemy of humanity. As simple as that. Even if you are not aware of it, it doesn't mean you're necessarily a bad person. Okay? But because of your ignorance, because of your, number two is lower intelligence, or even if you have average intelligence, you're at risk, is what I'm trying to get at here, get across. And number three is your personality type, okay? So if you have these three factors, you can still be subjectively nice, good person, but you're going to be a toddler. You can be a moral individual, but you're going to be a toddler. You can be good things, but you're going to be a liability no matter what. You're going to be a great liability to humanity. The bottom line. But you're still going to be working for and working with the alien to destroy the world that we live in. So these three factors, these characteristics are going to be working against you, and it's going to make you nothing less than, even if it's unwittingly, okay, let me make that totally clear. You're not doing this on purpose. You're not a criminal on purpose. You're not a nefarious individual on purpose, but because of these three factors, you're going to be and you are. If you're a toddler, you are the enemy of humanity because you simply don't know any better. You have no, like I said, you have no consciousness, but you have no consciousness of your own behavior and what you're doing. And you could be the greatest guy in the world, the guy that's ready to help at anything. But you're functioning as an animal, really, because you've got no consciousness of the reality of the world around you. And that's why you're so deadly dangerous. And you're actually not demonic, you're not satanic, but you're functioning as those things because you're an idiot. That's the bottom line. Try to understand what I'm saying. So I cannot reiterate this enough, because you're not educated in the reality of the world and reality in general. You know, you may think that you're living in reality as a toddler. Again, you don't know that you're a toddler, but you definitely are. You're a full-blown toddler, and you don't even know it. And the reason you don't know it is because of the first factor. You don't have the information, you don't have the knowledge, because you are not educated in those areas. Number two, you don't have the intelligence to even perceive it, what you are, and what your behavior results in, and how detrimental you are to the world. And the tragic irony of this whole situation is that the toddler is getting completely conflicting information about themselves. We might be going up to the toddler, those of us who are not toddlers, we may be going up to the toddler and saying, "You're a fucking idiot, man. Can't you see what's going on around you? Open your fucking eyes. Open your ears." And because of the conflicting information they're getting the information that they're doing just fine and they're actually successful in life. Your own brother-in-law is a success being a toddler. The world rewards toddlers. You are the fucking loser of the family. You are the black sheep. You've always been fucking weird. You've been unsuccessful. And look at your brother-in-law. He's got everything going for him. And he's telling you, whatever your name is, what is wrong with you? Get some help, dude. Get into the real world, dude. What are you watching on the internet to make you go like a nutter? Get in the real world. But the reality of the situation, the irony, is that you're the one that's living in the real world and your brother-in-law is being rewarded for being an idiot, a fucking toddler. Do you understand that? Because he's getting completely false information and is falsely rewarded. He's being rewarded for being an idiot and following the narrative of the agenda and complying with and conforming to and not resisting in any way the agenda, the goal, the direction, the incentive, the fantasy, the sick, demented, depraved fantasy of the vile alien. That's why your brother-in-law is a proxy warrior for the alien. He's in the army of the alien. Even if he's not actually, literally in the military. But he still is without being in the military, because he's acting as the warrior for the alien. And he's the success and you're the loser. You're the failure in life. He's the successful one. That's the tragedy of it all. Because the alien is satanic. And you're a proxy warrior for the alien. And the worst part of it is that most, I would say, 95 or higher % of the toddlers of the world, which is in the billions, have no awareness that they're proxy warriors for the satanic aliens. That's the tragedy of the whole thing. You're not even aware of what you're doing. And when somebody brings it to your attention, you kick and scream. You run away. Because of your lack of comprehension and your conflict. Your conflict towards your resistance towards. I'm talking if you are a toddler or anybody is a toddler, you have this resistance against, you may call it truth, but what is truth? Truth is reality. There is no truth without, if it's not based on reality. Truth is synonym of reality. It's one and the same. And the toddler is in conflict with reality. Too weak to accept reality. Too weak to live in reality. True reality. You do not want to face reality. You do not have the fortitude, the courage, the bravery to face nothing but reality. You're scared of it. And you find comfort and security being under the control and occupied by your body, your mind, occupied by the alien. Besides that, you're probably the nicest guy in the world. You're innocent. You have the brain of a toddler. And that's what I'm fighting against. And that's why I call you an idiot. And I've been calling you an idiot for, if you guys, you know, there's some that have been following me since day one, you know, in the mid to late 90s, okay? And I've been calling everybody idiots. Not everybody, but, and let's not forget the incentivization and the reward of not living in reality. Living in the fake, phony, intelligence damaging world of the alien, which is lies, the opposite of truth and reality. And that's what your brother-in-law lives in and succeeds in. Lives and succeeds in the world of the alien. The toddler is an idiot. But that's oversimplifying things. They're not just an idiot. They're a more complex form of an idiot. They are not a benign idiot. They are highly destructive and malicious type of an idiot. Being aware of it or not, most of them, as I said, are not even aware of it. They have no awareness whatsoever. There is no awareness of the world. Therefore, they have no awareness of what they're complicit in and the destruction, the devastation that they're causing with their behavior. The trajectory of their behavior, the final result of their behavior will eventually lead in the total terror on humanity, and even total terror often to themselves, but still they will not be aware of it. They will never wake up. They can't wake up because those three factors that I'm doing an analysis on in this presentation, those three factors that define a toddler, they're not capable of waking up. See, what I'm getting at here is something very, very profound, very deep, and also extremely troubling. We've heard in these recent times about the buzzword artificial intelligence. Well, or the convergence of biology and the digital world, computers, if you want to call them that. Well, you have to understand that the toddler has been around for a very, very long time, and the toddler is conducive, highly conducive to programming. Huh? You get it now? Programming. Those three factors that I pointed out is what's needed to be highly conducive to programming. Brainwashing, gaslighting, being highly impressionable, deception. They're very vulnerable to it. They're actually designed for it. So the toddler is and has already been AI. The toddler is controlled externally, not from critical thinking and not from an inner voice. Because the toddler is owned and created and produced, fabricated by the alien. And again, your brother-in-law has no awareness of it. No awareness of it. And that is the perfect AI. They have no awareness that they have been created for a specific purpose, to carry out specific tasks for those who do the programming. The programming through every aspect of life, culture, education, religion, political theater, fashion, trends, sports and entertainment, academia. Do you realize how it touches every part of your life? The alien controls every part of our lives, from birth to death and beyond. And your brother-in-law thought that he's the smarter one because he went along with it and succeeded within it. And you did not. Therefore, you're the fucking failure. And he's the successful one in the family. He's the model. He's the great example of what an individual should be in the alien world. That's all created by the alien to program the billions and billions of toddlers. And as you have seen during the pandemic, the fake plague, as you have seen that almost everyone in the world, around the world, in every country, belonging to every ethnicity, every race, male or female or anything in between, young and old, white, brown, yellow, red, or black, doesn't matter who they are. The alien will uniformly create them as toddlers. Now, isn't that frightening? Everywhere in the world, toddlers have been created to march, fight, activate at the command of the alien, to support, to police, to coerce, to carry out the agenda of the alien. That's the purpose of the toddler, and you have them in your family. You may have them next to you in the bed. It could be your children. It could be your mother and father, your neighbor, your co-workers, the people at the bar, the people you meet randomly on the street. Aliens have created masses and masses of toddlers who actually do function as zombies, as artificial intelligence. There's no difference. They're zombies. They are AI. Can't you tell? Can't you see it? Try talking to them. You've tried talking to them about anything deeper than mundane, meaningless, superficial conversation. Anything deeper than that, the zombie cannot perceive it, cannot comprehend any of it. And it goes against our programming, and they are going to get aggressive, and they are going to get belligerent, and they are going to run away because you're going totally against their programming. You're short-circuiting them, and they literally don't know how to deal with it. They're not programmed to deal with it. They're not programmed to take it in and comprehend it and process it. They cannot process the information because they're not coded to process the information that you're giving them. So they're going to run away and say, leave me alone. And that is because the alien, throughout their entire lives, since they were born, with the help of their parents, their family members, their peers, their educators, they have been programmed for a specific task only. And they cannot process any other information except for that specific information they were coded with. The alien has created these individuals by the billions through incentives, through rewards, and the acquisition and the obtainability, the accessibility, the attainability of success as opposed to failure. That's why the zombie is successful and you fucking loser are not. The zombie lives in a fake world and you actually live in the real world. But you're not rewarded for it, you're actually punished for it. The zombie is rewarded for it. The zombie is rewarded and taking part and participating and aiding and abetting the fake alien world. Do you get it? Alien has programmed him for a specific task, and you're conflicting it. You're putting it into chaos. Aliens have created masses and masses of toddlers to determine the fate of the world and determine your own personal fate that you cannot fight against. And no, your dream politician is also a toddler and is not going to save you. And you know, that's a very definitive statement if you believe that a politician who is a puppet, who is a toddler to start with, who is a flawed, a deformed, handicapped, compromised, physically, mentally, morally, damaged individual who absolutely directly works and answers to the alien. If you think that this individual is your savior, your messiah, that's all I need to know. And I know definitively that you are a fucking toddler. The enemy of humanity, my enemy, because of your lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of intelligence, and lack of specific personality type. And there you are, a fucking zombie. AI. When you put those glasses on, it's not really that you're seeing aliens. You're seeing the toddlers everywhere. Do you recognize toddlers? You have to recognize a toddler. The toddler's programmed to carry out your destruction, your annihilation of your race, but also of you personally. The toddler next to you, that's who I'm talking about. But truly, that's most people I've been calling idiots. I just can look at somebody, and if that's not enough, I could just get a few words out of them, and I know exactly what they are. I do a personal analysis and evaluation instantly, and I know exactly if they're a toddler or not. And I can tell about their emotional structure, their intellectual structure, their ethics, their morality, their trustworthiness, their sincerity. I can tell a lot of these things in a matter of seconds, maybe minutes. And that's why I'm talking about toddlers right now. This isn't an analysis of the toddler, who are everywhere around us, everywhere. And there is these specific reasons why they do behave the way they do, and why they contribute to the downfall of society. And right now we've been seeing it, the entire world. It's you, toddlers, that are making the destruction possible. Because the alien could never achieve the chaos, the tremendous atrocities, the destabilization, the demoralization, the destruction of entire nations. The alien could never achieve this without you, the fucking toddler. Oh, wait, let's not forget the degeneracy all around you. What is degeneracy? It's a war against nature, against the laws of nature, the course of nature. The alien hates nature. And you as a toddler, every step of the way you're helping the alien. Every step of the way. Some people also call you by another name, in case you were wondering. It's a more endearing name. I like toddler much better. But they call you the normies. You are the normies. Unfortunately, you are the normal people of the world. Those of us who know, who are aware, are not the normal people of the world. And look what you normal people have accomplished, and where our world is going, and what direction we're going in. And some of us can guess where we're going to end up because of the normal people who do quite well in a fake, phony, contrived, invented, deceptive world. The world of the alien. Because they can't see anything. And you go, what? If you're going, what the hell is this guy talking about? Wow. This guy is a real piece of work. If you're saying that, I'm not surprised. You are exactly what I have just described. And you're not alone. Don't feel alone. Don't ever feel alone. There's billions, not thousands, not millions, but billions of you. That's why I said there's not very many aliens, but you are the army of the alien. And why am I angry? That's why I'm angry. Because we have no power. Those of us that are awake, we have no power. And we just have to witness and watch our destruction of what you're doing. At the command of the alien. So all the destruction that you're causing, all the pretty much evil that you're causing, without even you knowing it. And if I come out and I throw it in your face, and I tell you what you are and what you're doing, you're not going to see it. You're probably going to deny it. You're going to contradict it. You're going to oppose it. You're going to get offended, insulted. You're going to get heated over it. You're going to mock it. You're going to ridicule it. You're going to get belligerent. You're going to get vindictive. And let's face it, you've got all the support behind you because, like I say, you're in the billions. And the alien is supporting you and is giving you protection, even though you're doing evil. The mainstream, be it any type of mainstream, be it the guitar media, manufacturers, be it big guitar, big pharma, big medicine, big education, big food processing, big this, big that. They're all behind you. And they're saying, you're the right one. Don't listen to anything that anybody tells you. It's not true. It's disinformation. It's disinformation. It's misinformation. That's why we got censorship in there. Oh yeah. That's why, this everything I do is shadow ban. Make sure that you don't hear what I got to say. Because if you hear what I got to say and I get you smarter, the alien's in trouble. And if it's 1 of you, 5 of you, 10 of you, 100 of you, oh my God, oh my goodness, the alien's in big trouble. And the alien is already neurotic, paranoid, schizophrenic, hysterical, all kinds of mental illness the alien possesses genetically. They're in big trouble. If you catch on, if you wake up, if you learn the truth, if you get in touch with reality, they're in big trouble. They need you. They need you to be a fucking moron. You understand? A fucking moron. The alien needs you and will reward you accordingly. You will get ahead in life. Way ahead of me. So, you better not listen to what I say if you know what's good for you. So when I call you an idiot, or call you a toddler, but I've been calling people idiots for decades, maybe even from birth. I was really young, less than 10 years old, and I used to think, there's something wrong with people. There's something serious. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I was less than 10 years old. But I just felt it. I just felt something is wrong with people. Is it me? Or is it them? I didn't know at the time. Now I know. So, if I call you an idiot or a toddler, you're probably going to object vehemently, because you're not going to understand anything I'm talking about, and you're not going to understand why. Again, it's because of those three things. You haven't been educated. You don't know the fundamentals. You don't have a background, the background knowledge that you need. You don't have possibly the intelligence to even be educated. You don't have the curiosity to be educated. And thirdly, the toddler doesn't have the correct personality for it. They have the personality of a follower, which is the personality of a conformist, somebody who complies because they want to be accepted into, they're desperate to be accepted and liked and to succeed in this world of the alien. You see what I'm getting at? This is a specific example that you're going to be able to reflect on, connect with, identify with, and that is that the alien put a lie out there, deceived you, and you didn't even realize it. The alien told you to put on a mask, and you put the fucking mask over your face. And you stood 6 feet apart from your family members, your loved ones, because the alien said that to you and you complied. And you expect me to fucking respect you? Do you? I don't think so. You didn't even have the background knowledge to realize, to perceive what was going on. The alien was lying to the entire world in unison, simultaneously. The alien controls every government, which then acted in unison, in concert, to carry out this enormous fucking lie. And you fell for it, you son of a bitch. You fucking fell for it. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you're still walking around, that is. You neglected to have the discernment that you are being humiliated by the alien. Absolute fucking humiliation that you went through and you didn't even know it. And if I would have told you, you wouldn't have understood what I was saying. You would have looked at me like I was the weird one. And you're the one with the fucking mask and the fucking needle in your arm. You understand? You probably have no clue that all of your life, how old you might be, I don't know. However old you are, you've been brainwashed, seriously fucking brainwashed. You've been brainwashed to regard and accept Satanism as normal, the work of the devil. You've been conditioned to believe that it's normal, it's good, and it's actually progressive. This is how communists are made. If you're a toddler, you're by definition, you're innately a communist. Understand? There's no doubt about it. You're a naked communist. That's where you're at. And then I come and I try to cut your legs off. And I understand that it's a huge shock. It's a huge shock. But that's the way I do my educating. I do my educating with a blunt weapon. Right between the eyes. I believe it's the only way. I knock you out with truth. Because you are the one that's not living in a real world. The few of us who know what's going on, and those of us who know who is behind it all, those of us, we are the ones living in the real world, ironically. You're living in a fake world. You're the one that's living in a conspiracy theory. And we're living in reality, the truth. We're the ones that have connection to reality, and you do not. So again, what makes a toddler? The first point, number one, no information. You're uneducated on many, many topics. And I'm not talking about being a scientist or knowing how to, or being an academic, having tons of degrees, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. Whatever it may be. Okay? I'm talking about your awareness of the world that you live in and understanding exactly, you know, basically how in touch you are with reality is what it all boils down to. And a lot of you think that you are very much in touch with reality because, you know, let's face it, a lot of you are doing good in life. You've got high-paying jobs. You've got secure life. You've got, some of you have families still. You have a house that's paid for. You have a cottage. You have a boat. You go on fishing trips 3 times a year. Whatever it may be. You're still a fucking toddler. And you're working against humanity. And you don't even know it. That's the tragedy of it. And that's what a lot of us are fighting against. And a lot of us are fighting you. If you're a toddler. Gotta understand this. So let me give you the third one. The third one is personality. Specifically, your personality type, which is genetic, which is biological, which is something you're born with and is immutable. Number 3 is personality. Personality type. All toddlers are type B beta male bunnies. Because most men in the world, males, maybe not men, but males in the world are type B beta male bunnies. The world would not function without them. And why is the type B beta male bunny so important? For one reason. And they pretty much only have to exhibit one characteristic, which the alpha male cannot exhibit. The alpha male is constantly fighting against anything that they see as wrong. Could be moral, it could be injustice, unfairness. A lot of compassion is involved in that from the alpha male. Alpha male has been misunderstood by basically the beta male. And they're nothing like they are believed to be. But the one thing, this is a very important point. The one thing that the beta male, type B, beta male bunny does, and comes natural to them, to him, is to conform, comply and conform. And if you have the ability, and it truly is an ability, the ability to conform and comply is not within the domain of the alpha male. The alpha male cannot do it. Just simply cannot do it. They will physically feel sick and very uncomfortable if they're forced to comply and conform. That is precisely why they always lead. They go into any situation and they become the leader in that situation. Just naturally they do. And it's the reason why they are always the innovators. Because they don't give a fuck about following. They can't follow. They literally cannot follow. Understand? Where the type B, beta male bunny is all about following. But we need followers, don't we not? What the hell is the world filled with alpha males? So you beta male, type B, bunnies, you stay exactly where you are. Because nothing would function without you, without followers. Even though you're not respected. But as weird as it is, you are essential. Even to women. To women, you're very essential. You're born slaves, puppets. Look at the governors of the states. Look at the presidents. Look at the prime ministers. Look at the judges. Look at the mayors. Look at teachers, school teachers. Look at professors. Look at the CEOs of every company. And how about those vile school board trustees? Those degenerates, those communists, and the superintendents of school boards. Again, alien puppets. They're all disgusting, and they all want the children. Look at city council members. All of them. Every fucking one of them. Should make you sick if you're an alpha male. Because if you're an alpha male, you're considered antisocial. Do you really think the alien is going to put an alpha male in those positions? That sounds silly, doesn't it? The alien could never have any of that. Look at all that fucking slime. Now you know what they are. They lead nothing. They make no decisions. And ultimately, they have no power. They just play a role, a very important one. The alien would not exist without the toddler. Did I make that clear already? Whereas to the type B beta male bunny, it comes totally naturally. And it's what they prefer. It's the way they lead their life in every situation. Be it personal connections, be it in their vocation, in any social setting, they conform and comply. Where the alpha male just simply cannot do it. Cannot do it. They gotta fight it. What? You say I gotta wear a mask? Well, you better give me a good fucking reason. I'll wear a mask, but it better be for real. You got a real reason? Oh, you don't, huh? So, if you didn't wear a mask and you didn't take the snake oil, there's very little chance that you're a type B beta male bunny. I saw some of the biggest dudes, man, in Home Depot. They're tough guys, man. Oh yeah. Blue collar, or any type of collar, for that matter. And there they were with their masks on. And they had a Band-Aid right here. Tough guy. Tough guy. First of all, you fell for the scam, you dumb fuck, you. You fell for the scam. And then you complied with it. And that makes you an enemy of humanity. You fell for a satanic, evil, diabolical scam. And then you supported it by complying. So you deserve everything that's coming to you. Understand? Some of us didn't do any of that. We're trying to save the world from evil. But you're getting in the way of it. Understand? You're working for the other side. And the sad thing is that you're not even aware of it. We're trying to save the world and humanity. And that's not a small task. It's probably the hardest job in the world. An impossible job, maybe. And we're not even so much fighting against the alien, we're fighting against you, the fucking toddler. All because you have this innate drive, psychological, physiological, whatever, to conform and comply. You want to be accepted. You want to be liked. You want to be popular. You want to be given a title. You want status. You want to have a job. You want to make money. You want to be able to pay your taxes to the alien. And maybe have a beer at night. That's all you want. Who gives a shit about humanity and the world, right? You wanna, you're too busy paying your taxes. to the alien. All your taxes go to the alien. You know that, right? Of course you didn't know that. You want to have security. You want to have a title, which ultimately doesn't mean anything because you're going to be fucking dead. We all are. None of that means anything. What does mean something is that you've supported evil. You worked for the alien, not for the truth and not for humanity. You supported a tremendous, huge lie. A big fucking joke. You supported a fucking joke is what you did. And it may just cost you your life. Or the life of those close to you. You care about what others think of you. You want to keep your fucking job. You're weak. I don't give a shit if you're 6'6" or 6'4" or whatever you are. You're a big fucking hunk of shit. That's what you are. Dictated by your personality type. If you're able to conform and comply, basically you're able to play the game. Okay? If you're able to play the game, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to be intelligent, you don't have to be educated, you don't have to be in touch with reality. You don't have to be skilled. You don't have to be competent in anything. All you got to do is comply. Comply to what? Comply to the order of the alien. Be a servant of the alien, and you will do very well in this world, in this phony, fake alien world. It's all you got to do. You don't have to be competent in anything. Just comply. That's all you got to do is comply and conform. You got to be a conformist. And you have to be able to live the lie and believe it. And that's what communism is. Living the lie, believing in it, and promoting it, and enforcing it. So all you gotta do is comply. You don't have to know anything else. And as the subject of this presentation, what I'm trying to tell you is that it really helps to achieve that compliance. It really helps to conform to the lie and be elevated as high as possible in the social order, social economic order. It really helps if you have no education, no information. If you have low intelligence. And 3, if you're a type B beta male bunny. If you got all these 3, you are guaranteed to be a toddler. And the alien loves toddlers. They feed off of toddlers. until your expiry date, that is. Then the alien makes you disappear, wipes you out, because you had served your purpose. You're done. In fact, they'll even make you president or prime minister in any country in the world. How's that? Pretty good deal. All you gotta do is comply, and you did comply. You put a piece of paper over your face. It's hilarious. Alien comedy at its best. And I've just described to you all the politicians, being municipal, on the state level, on the regional level, and on the national level. Every one of these politicians are type B beta male bunnies. A lot of them are damaged, psychologically, physiologically damaged individuals. And that's why they fit the bill perfectly. And all of them are type B beta male bunnies. They don't fight. They don't fight. They comply. It's the opposite of fighting. Compliance is the opposite of defiance. Defiance is the opposite of compliance. You understand the differences between the two personality types? The type A male is the opposite of the type B male. The alpha is the opposite of the bunny. And the alien needs the bunnies, not the alphas. The bunnies will naturally work for the alien because the bunny is a follower by nature. Compliance, conformity, is the opposite of resistance. The type B beta male bunny, regardless how big they are not fighters. They don't fight. They find it uncomfortable to fight. They're emotionally not driven to fight. And if they do, they only fight on behalf of their rulers, their masters, the alien. So that's the third characteristic, probably the most important one that makes it all happen, is your personality type. And if you're a type B beta male bunny, you're going to have to make an extra effort not to be a toddler. Remember, the toddler and the aliens, they go together in partnership. And the alien is always in search of the perfect toddlers. And if the alien finds you, and if you signal to the alien that you will let them know that you're going to comply, conform, and be a great little puppet, you will do very well in this world of the alien, this world of the devil, Satan. You will do well. So, in closing, this is the most important point I'm going to make at the very end of this lecture. And the most important point is, can you guess it? The question was, the theme was throughout this lecture is, what is a toddler? And I gave you 3 characteristics of the toddler, okay? However, what do those 3 characteristics lead to? What do they mean? What is the bigger picture here? Can you guess? Because of the ignorance, because the possibly lack of intelligence, and the beta male type B bunny personality type of the toddler, they either have 1, 2, or all 3 of these traits. But that's not the end of the story. Understand? That's not the end of the story. Now here's the most important part. What makes a toddler? What is the final conclusion here? Can you guess? The final conclusion is the overall ultimate definition of a toddler is somebody that does not know the alien. Are you a toddler? Do you know the alien?